Okay guys, I'm now back from my lab and I'm ready to do my next rant, and this rant is going to be on, and I know people have done this before plenty of times, Gamestop people. Now not the store itself, but the people who actually work in the store and how stupid or how assholish they can be. First off, their intelligence level. Now I believe it borders on anywhere from 0 to absolute 0. Because you can go into GameStop and ask them the simplest question that even a 5-year-old would know, and they don't know the answer to it. I mean, I swear to God, I even told this guy, as a joke once, if he knew how to find this game that came out for the Super Nintendo way back in the 90s. And he actually, he walked me to the Nintendo Wii section, so at least he knew the company that made the game, and he looked for it for like 10 minutes. No joke. And in the end, what happened? He still couldn't find it. Wow, I wonder why. And then I told him, yeah, that game was for the Super Nintendo that came out in the 90s. And I'm like, well, why would you ask me about a game that came out in the 90s? No reason. But I'm pretty sure deep down he knew why. Now there are people who aren't that stupid in GameStop, of course. I mean, there are some semi-intelligent people there. There are people who know, you know, which system it is, you know, what a 360 is, what Xbox Live is, how to get Xbox Live, how to download things on your 360, how to work Blu-ray on a PS3, how to get the Virtual Console on a Wii, you know, all that stuff. And then there's the people who you just think, why are they even working there? Why would someone who knows so little to nothing about games and gaming systems be working in a store that sells those things? Now, I decided one time to ask a certain GameStop worker about certain peripherals for the Wii, despite the fact that I don't even have one, but he didn't know that. So I was asking him, like, if he knew where I could find a Wii Fit, and he didn't even know what that was. So I'm like, okay, well, where can I find a Wii steering wheel or a Wii Super Zapper? Didn't know what any of those were, despite the fact that 2 out of the 3 of those things, the wheel and the zapper, were in that store right across from where he was working. I was just in shock at how dumb this guy was. And I don't know how long he'd been working there. It doesn't matter. I mean, you could be working at GameStop for 5 seconds and you'd know where to find fucking Wii accessories. Now, their level of socialness, how social or how nice are these people? Well, with the exception of the one GameStop around where I live that I actually like going to because the people in there are not a bunch of stuck-up tightwads who actually know what they're doing, all the other GameStops I go to have either people who have pretty much no life other than video games and working at GameStop, to people who just don't care about the customers and they just cannot wait for you to leave the store. I mean, and most of the time these are the managers who think that just because they manage as a GameStop, they think they're the head of the universe. And I mean, I've dealt with those people before. I haven't talked to them directly, but I just keep thinking, you know, why are these guys even working here? And again, they also fall in the same category of people who don't know what they're doing. They don't know what a certain thing is. They don't know if they sell it or not. They don't know where to find it. It just astounds me. And back when, in my neighboring city, there's a mall that had 2 game stores in it. Well, it still has 2 game stores. One was called Electronics Boutique, and then it got changed to an EB Games, and then it became a GameStop. And there was one on the second floor that used to be called, it was known forever as Software ETC, or Software Etc., and it too became a GameStop. So now one mall has 2 GameStops in it. 2 GameStops in the same mall. Now, if that's not proof that GameStop is pretty much taking over the gaming world, unfortunately, there's your proof. If that's not proof, I don't know what is. But that's about the store itself. More people who work there, you know, as a whole, they're just a bunch of, they're just retarded. I mean, they shouldn't be working there. I mean, they know next to nothing about games or systems. I mean, you could go in there and ask them what a Wii is, and they'd say, I don't know. You could say you could ask what Xbox Live is. They'd be like, I don't know. You could say what PSN is. They'd be like, I don't know. I mean, and these guys don't even, most of the time, they don't even put any kind of effort into helping you. I mean, if you ask them a question, they'll just be like, well, I guess, or I suppose. They don't even try it out for themselves most of the time, if it even, you know, comes to that. they'll just kind of give you a half-assed answer and expect you to figure out the rest of it on your own. And there used to be like a classic game store where I live called Player 2, and it got closed down because of construction work blocking all the business, which was really unfair. Because that was a good store. I mean, it sold NES games, SNES games, everything to Sega Saturn games and stuff like that. And the workers there they actually were. I mean, there was a customer there who was absolutely clueless about how this one thing. He was buying something for his son for Christmas one year, and he was unsure about how something worked. So he asked the guy who was working there, for his help. And I swear that they spent, or the worker spent like 15 minutes helping this guy out. And at the end, he knew exactly what to do. I mean, he knew everything. Everything he explained in a very detailed yet easy to understand manner. And this guy, he left the store just knowing what he was going to do. At GameStop, that never happens. At least 99% of the time, that never happens. People there just do not make any effort to help you at all. They're usually not very nice. I mean, they're usually very stuck up and snobby. There are a few exceptions, but where I live, there's only one real exception. So, all in all, the GameStop population is, their IQ level wouldn't even add up to the size of an ant. So there you go. So there's my rant on this, and with that, Metroid signing off.